Welcome back. Creating a product to comfort her child was just the start for one local mom. Now she's hoping to help and comfort families.
October is Rett Syndrome Awareness Month, and it is a syndrome that hits home for Janelle Noble Donovan and her daughter Reagan. Janelle joins us now to share with how you can help from home. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Why don't you start by explaining what Rett syndrome is for our viewers not familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. Rett syndrome is a rare neurological and genetic condition that hits children at a really young age. Most families are celebrating milestones like walking and eating and talking. And a condition like Rett syndrome puts families in a position where you're either fighting to keep those milestones that your children are getting, or they've never reached them at all, or they're in the process of losing them by the time that they're age 3. It can be really debilitating and very traumatic. And we're out here trying to support families. And the reason ANSHI exists is because of my daughter Reagan and her struggles acutely, as well as with her genetic condition, Rett.
Yeah, you just kind of mentioned, what exactly is ANSHI? How was it created? And just to clarify too, is Rett syndrome something that a child lives for the rest of their lives, or does it kind of, because I was reading up on it and it says sometimes it goes away maybe?
So it's a progressive disease, but it's not degenerative. So you do live with it your entire life. It's in your genes. There are many families on the front lines in clinical trials putting themselves out there trying to find treatments and step closer to a cure. But it is a debilitating condition that has a varying level of severity. So you have cases where, you know, complete loss of almost all function besides eye control can happen with the child by the time they're age 3.
Wow, that is devastating.
Was really something that came out of this because Reagan was doing pretty well. You know, my husband Ryan is head golf coach at SDSU for 20 years, and we were a normal family, even though she had this diagnosis. We were really positive about being proactive with it. But at 4 years old, Reagan got sick. We ended up right here at Rady's Children's Hospital, and she almost died. And it was in that situation with Reagan, with tubes in her in a pediatric intensive care unit, that I went home as a desperate mom trying to find ways to help her feel better fast. And I went into my kitchen because I'm a mom, not a scientist. And I took a couple of ingredients that I found, and I put them together in a mixer and brought back to the ICU, and I started rubbing my daughter with it to help her feel better.
Can you tell us a little bit about ANSHI, the products that you got in front of there? We've got a couple here, nurturing peppermint, classic Himalayan salt. There's different kinds. Yeah, how did you kind of create all of this?
Absolutely. So ANSHI's products exist to help make self-care and self-treatment at home easier, more natural, and faster. Because Reagan uniquely couldn't take things by mouth when she was intubated, I was interested in using the skin to deliver powerful fats and minerals. So we take 5 simple ingredients, and that's our classic pink salt, and we whip them together. And that is a base of coconut oil, castor oil, vitamin E, beeswax, and Himalayan salt. The salt kind of acts as an exfoliant. So when you're rubbing our topical rubs on your skin, the salt is scraping away the outer layer so the ingredients absorb better. And then we only ever add 1 ingredient to our varieties. So we have our best-selling and made Best of San Diego last year, our Total Healing Turmeric, which is great for pain and swelling and arthritis. And we have Nurturing Peppermint, which can help from anything from fevers to headaches. And we have an aloe, and we throw out limited editions every year to raise money for different causes. And right now we have our limited edition lavender. Our rubs work really fast compared to ingesting something orally. So 10, 15 minutes to activation, as opposed to 45 minutes to an hour if you're ingesting a medication to help with helping yourself feel better.
I got to say, a mother's love, a mother's desperation has no boundaries, really, when you see your child in pain. So you went quickly to your kitchen and you created this. Did you actually see the results right away in your daughter?
Well, when I first started using the rubs, she was intubated, and it was more about delivering vital fats and minerals that she wasn't taking by mouth. But once she woke up, we unfortunately got sepsis, and then she got another condition called C. diff. And I was able to quickly get down fevers, working hand in hand with some of the best doctors and nurses and respiratory therapists in the country at Rady's. And I was able to be a side-by-side caretaker that was actively involved in helping my child feel better through things like 104 fever or really extreme pain in her gut, and also just tape ripping and all of the things that happen in a hospital that can make your child cry or cringe. I was always pulling out ANSHI, and I was able to use it. In the ER and in the ICU, you're oftentimes not able to give anything by mouth, and I was always allowed to rub her. It's always okay to touch your child. And I think that that really helped me along the way to be able to focus on little moments of relief for Reagan so she could continue to fight.
Janelle, it's an inspiring story, incredible work, incredible product that you've put together here. Where can people learn more about your story, your daughter's story, and then the great product that helps out?
Absolutely. So right now we have a limited edition Soothing Lavender that came from one of our customers who's a fellow Rett mom, Colleen, and her daughter, Claire. Claire used to love mixing classic pink salt with lavender. And unfortunately, Claire passed away this past year. And we wanted to honor Claire's life and her life mission, which was to support families in clinical trials for Rett syndrome around the US and Canada. So 50% of the profits of Soothing Lavender, which I love in the shower, I love rubbing it all over Reagan's temples and behind her ear and neck before bed. Soothing Lavender, 50% of the profits are being donated to Rettland, Colleen's nonprofit organization. We have a picture of Claire on the bottle. It tells a nice story about her. And it means so much to me to be able to lift up Claire and her memory and her honor and support other families on the front lines trying to make something happen within a condition like Rett syndrome. So go to ANSHIheals.com and learn more about Soothing Lavender. Check out our line and help support a great cause and experience some great products.
Thank you so much, Janelle, for doing what you do. You're such a beautiful person inside and out, and thank you for raising awareness.
Thank you guys for having me on today.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming on.